This video is actually going to be a bit different than videos I usually make because this one's going to focus on something that I don't like, whereas I usually like to make videos about things that I like. That was the whole point. But I have some really strong opinions about something, and I really want to talk about it because I know a lot of people that feel the same way, so I just want to say it. Anyone who knows me well knows that I absolutely detest the ddlg community. I've explained it in another video a little bit, but it's a community where generally the top is the daddy or mommy in some cases, and the bottom is a little girl or a little boy. And the little community is full of just sexualizing childhood and childish things, behaving like a child sexually. A lot of them call themselves nymphets, which was a term coined by the pedophile of the novel Lolita, which is a wonderful book. However, the subject matter is child rape. It's not a romance novel like they all behave like it is, and I think that the fact that they behave like it's this beautiful romantic story of two lovers when it's literally a story about a 12-year-old being raped is very telling of the tone of that sect of life. So I'm going to discuss some personal run-ins I've had with them and then refute some excuses that they typically have for themselves. The first is that the community is full of pedophiles. And talking shit about this fetish, at one point I was met by a 30-year-old who's dating a 16-year-old and was all for this fetish that revolves around sexualizing children. And there's also a lot of minors in the fetish community, which is absolutely wrong. But what's more wrong is that they're not kicked out. They are encouraged. There's posts defending them and promoting them in the community. Instead of people saying, you're a minor, you need to get out of this fetish community, there's posts with tons of notes saying, no, let them in, they deserve to be here. And I bet you anything, it's pedophiles endorsing these posts. Anyway, second, is that they don't seem to understand where they're not wanted. I'm extremely uncomfortable with this fetish, and I've said politely before, in the beginning I was very polite, don't reblog my selfies and my personal posts or follow my blogs if you're a member of this community. It just makes me uncomfortable, so just please don't. My block list is a ridiculous amount who just followed me anyway and continue to post pictures of my face alongside, porn gifs and sippy cups, and it's just gross. And I've had where I've told them, hey, can you please, delete this because I really don't like seeing my face right next to a gif of a girl sucking dick, and they're such brats about it, and they're like, I don't have to remove shit, it's my blog, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, but you're a pedophile, and I'm uncomfortable. But anyway, I recently had some e-drama with a woman who's a member of this community who, shortly after I got into a fight with her, she was outed as an actual pedophile, and an archive of child porn she had drawn was published along with RP accounts where she pretends to be a 10-year-old and literally asks for realistic rape. These might sound like, oh, it's only a few people in the community who are pedophiles, this doesn't represent the whole community, but considering the astonishing amount who love Lolita and think it's romantic, it kind of shows the pedophilic undertones of the fetish. You really have to question why you're turned on by your partner behaving like a little kid in bed, because the answer is likely that you are a pedophile. And while I would rather you be living your fantasies with an adult, you should at least own up to it instead of making excuse after excuse why finding childish behavior and childhood in general sexy is not gross. So some excuses, it's two consenting adults, so it has nothing to do with children. I'm going to use an example that I know someone can think, okay, but that's fictional, but sometimes it's okay to reference novels, particularly this one, to point out something that you're doing in real life. In Lolita, there's a part where Humbert has a prostitute, a consenting adult, wearing a child's nightgown when he sleeps with her. That's oddly reminiscent of what ddlg is, but also it did not make him suddenly not a pedophile. Obviously, he wanted his partner to dress like a child because he is a pedophile. Being a pedophile who acts out their fantasies with adults, like I said, is of course better than abusing children, but it doesn't make you suddenly not a pedophile anymore. Another one is, kink shaming is oppression, it's terrible, don't shame the way we love. And that's just that's moronic. First of all, why is it that people with other disgusting fetishes, vomit, piss, shit, why are they content staying in their little fetish forums in the dark parts of DeviantArt? Because they know and accept that their fetishes are gross, and yet you have to be in everyone's face, involving people who don't want to be involved, constantly running around like your fetish is just normal, just an average thing. Like, if somebody obsessed with vomit and shit was running around behaving like, oh yeah, this is normal, like, everyone's comfortable with this, it'd be a problem, and a lot of people would tell them, get the fuck out of my face. So why do you think that it's okay for you to do it? Fucking slink back over to FetLife, no one wants you. I'm just tired of seeing them claim oppression when they're told to leave people alone, or trying to distance themselves from pedophilia when they're calling themselves nymphets and trying to emulate the style of a 12-year-old rape victim. One thing that I've seen is a lot of littles are like, oh, it helps me cope with being an adult, I regress because... Okay, I'm going to stop you right there. I have age regression problems as a result of trauma that I faced at a very young age. It's not sexual. So I really don't like these girls, you know, getting their little coloring books and their pacifiers and their sippy cups and then getting fucked while they're pretending to be a little kid. That's gross. And don't call that age regression. Don't lump that in with people who legitimately have that, because that's disgusting. It's honestly very disgusting. Anyway, it just seems obvious to me how this is very thinly veiled pedophilia, and I'm not sure why they aren't getting why they make everyone so uncomfortable. And when I say everyone, I don't mean just me, because there are a lot of people who are very uncomfortable, and they always just, oh, we're being oppressed because we make people uncomfortable. That means that we're the oppressed ones. So it's a pretty large amount of people that don't like them, and they're not getting it. A common response to people who find discomfort with this is stop being so hateful. But I genuinely don't think that it's hateful to feel uncomfortable around a group of people who get off to behaving like small children. I just don't think that it's that unreasonable. I really don't. Check it out.